I cannot believe the chaos going on in Kent, because it has just been, honestly, one thing after another. So just this week, of course, we find out that the fire and rescue board cannot function because they've sacked so many people that there's no one on the committee, and they haven't appointed anyone new to this committee. So that means if the fire and rescue service in Kent needs to make any big spending decision, it can't be made, because normally that decision needs to go to that committee to be then approved on. Or if they need to make any other decisions or big decisions or anything like that, it needs to go to that committee to be approved. It's not even functioning because there's not enough people on the committee. And yet all they have to do, all Reform UK have to do, is just put someone else in the opposition onto these places. That's all they have to do. But they can't, and they won't, because then it looks bad. We've also found out, of course, just this week, you can't do the scrutiny committee meetings, the Canning scrutiny meetings. So there goes all the transparency that they promised from the May election completely out the window. And that's just this week. And then this crept under my radar as well this week. The deputy of Reform UK is now removed from his position at Kent County Council. Why is he being removed from his position? Who can say? But remember, I always keep on saying, whenever we cover this chaos going on in Kent, that you can't, it's not going to stop until Linden Kemkaran's gone. And even after that, there probably will be still a lot more chaos that goes on because of them. Trust me, this entire Kent roller coaster sideshow, I'm shocked that it's going on this long, because I thought at some point surely Nigel Farage would step in and say at some point, enough is enough, you're gone. But of course he can't, because remember, Linden Kemkaran is like the hand-picked person that Nigel Farage picked personally to run this council. As we said last video, if he now has to get rid of her, then this will now roll into bigger conversations and questions, because remember, Farage wants to be Prime Minister. Well, what then does this say about the people he wants to put in charge in some of the biggest, most important ministerial roles we have in this country, namely, of course, Chancellor of the Exchequer, Home Office, the Foreign Office, Defence, If someone that Farage picks cannot run a county council, how on earth do they expect then to run the Home Office or the Foreign Office or even, the Treasury? This is why she hasn't gone yet. And there's still, from what we know, no pressure on her to leave or to step down. So this is just going to continue. But now we get more into this bizarre mystery that's happened. Because why have you now removed the deputy? And we don't know why the deputy has gone. It's a complete mystery. We don't know whether he was forced out. We don't know whether Carmen just removed him because he's been quite vocal about her leadership. Questions abound about all of this. But needless to say, this is very, very interesting. I do keep on saying, I've got someone from the Lib Dems who, again, I really, really want to bring on from Kent down there to talk about this, because honestly, they will probably have more insight as to what's going on and more stuff about what's going on than is, gets reported, just as we had from Joe on the parish council level, and there's even stuff that she told me after the conversation I can't say because it's just so insane. But yeah, we'll get more on into this, but wow. So, Before we get more onto this, please do, of course, remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button down below. There are links to the Patreon page, the Buy Me Coffee link, the YouTube thank you button, the YouTube membership button down below as well. And of course, as well, don't forget to click on the like, share, and of course, subscribe button as well. Don't forget to ring the bell as well so you get notifications when we go live, when we drop a new video. And of course, as always, thank you very much to all those people who do help and support the channel. And of course, the QR code up here will take you straight to the Patreon page. So thank you very much to all those people who do help and support the channel. All right, let's crack on into this. Mystery surrounds Reform UK councillor Dean Burns' cabinet departure at Kent County Council. So, mystery now surrounds the departure of Reform UK councillor from his deputy cabinet role at Kent County Council. Councillor Dean Burns, who represents Ashford East, was one of the 57 members elected back on May the 1st, and is now sitting as a backbencher after leaving the environmental portfolio. So that's another committee that potentially can't run. Any meetings scheduled this month with the environment? Well, forget about it. No, of course, official announcement has been made, or locally by the party's national or even head office. But Councillor Burns was heard, of course, criticising the top table for backbiting at the political group at the Kent County Council in a leaked video of the virtual meeting in which he and council leader Linden Kemkaran swore and shouted at her members. Bear in mind, please, someone leak this whole video already, because we've only seen parts of this. I want to see the full meeting. I want to see this full meeting. Like, if the leaker sees this, leak it to me. I want to watch this full meeting unfurl from start to finish. I want to know how this starts, how it escalates, this whole, situation that we see, and then how it ends. Because I think there's maybe even more stuff in that video. And it's so annoying because we've only seen like small snippets of it that have been shown. And don't get me wrong, those highlights have been really good and fun to see since we've seen them. But I want to watch the whole thing in its context, because so far that hasn't been released. So if the leak ever sees this, send me a copy, leak it to me. I want to watch this whole thing from start to finish. I want to see what happens. We will watch it live on stream, but I want to watch it all because I think there's even more stuff that is maybe said in there that could be very interesting as well. Anyway, back to this. In, of course, the purge now of those alleged to have brought the party into disrepute, 5 councillors have been expelled, 2, of course, currently remain suspended. It is understood that Councillor Burns was, of course, spoken to after the meeting of Reform UK Group in Darren Room at County Hall on October the 28th. Wow. So after this came out, he was then pulled into an office and then raked over the coals by the sounds of it. Anyway, in the now, of course, notorious video, Councillor Burns said, "This situation as regards to our group is not great. I've worked my arse off here on my own portfolio, and I'm still getting a rod up my backside all the time. There's lots of backbiting going on, and it tends to be coming from the top down." During, of course, the fractious virtual meeting, first published by The Guardian on October the 18th, Councillor Kemkaran defended her position in making decisions on the local government organisation by telling her councils that they would have to effing suck it up. Since then, Reform UK at County Hall have endured months, over a month, I would say, of damaging headlines. Most recently, when one of the 4 members threatened to sue for libel. That's the guy who wrote the erotic novel. And of course, another said that they were seeking advice about industrial tribunal after being sacked from their head office job. Councillor Burns is, of course, still listed as the deputy leader and the member for environment on the website, but he declined to comment. The chief whip, Councillor Maxwell Harrison, did confirm that Burns is no longer in post, but declined to comment further. Asked if his departure was linked to the video, Councillor Harrison said he would not elaborate. So one Reform backbencher said that the portfolio may continue without a deputy and that the responsibilities shouldered by the cabinet member, Councillor David Wimble. The councillor, who asked not to be named, said, quote, "Someone said when all this blew up in the middle of October that it's only just the beginning. They weren't joking. Not many people thought it would still be rumbling on a month later, but here we are." this leads me to that quote itself leads me to think maybe there's more stuff to come. Maybe there's more stuff to come. Maybe this leaker has more stuff. Maybe because there's been this witch hunt, they're lying low at the moment. Maybe they are lying low. Which, if they are, fine. But I think there is more stuff to come. If that comment is to believe to be true by that, nameless reform backbencher, there may be more stuff to come on this. So the Labour group leader at the Kemkaran Council, Councillor Alistair Brady, said that reform has now put people into positions and then just removed them without any explanation. Linden Kemkaran needs to actually explain what is going on in administration, because from the outside, it looks like absolute chaos. It looks more than that. It looks way, way more than that. But now, you've just deputy gone. And that's this week. It's will we get any more to round out the week with? Very likely. What's going to happen next week? Are we going to get another reform meeting leaked to show the aftermath of this? That would be interesting to see that. I'll tell you that now. But as always, let me know what you think about all this, because as always, Kent and the situation down there continues to get more and more wild. Now, as I always say, there's more stuff happening in these other reform councils, but sometimes I feel, covering the stuff as timely as I possibly can. I can only make so many videos in a day. But as always, thank you very much to all those people who help and support this endeavor. And of course, as always, thank you very much to all those people who do click the like and share button. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.